Greeting everybody! You are here with me, Mr. Earth. Today I'm very excited to presenting all of you the effects of minimalist footwear and instruction on running. We have got great gurus who are specialized about the topic with us today. Please welcome Dr. John, Dr. Tom, and Dr. Victor. Today's topic is basically about running. Who knows there is a secret behind it? Stay tuned everybody. Details will be presented to all of you now. Ladies and gentlemen, as we all know, running is greatly beneficial for our health. It can improve several systems in our bodies, such as cardiovascular fitness, bone mineral density, as well as stress reduction. However, there are some running-related injury behind it. The proponents of barefoot running or running in minimalist footwear claim that running without shoes can reduce the risk of injury. Additionally, there are reports of biomechanical and physical differences supporting this study as well. In a nutshell, barefoot running has been proposed to be able to reduce injury risk. In my own perspective, running is a great choice to choose to do an exercise, since we don't need any equipment at all. Moreover, running helps every single part of our body move and work, especially our muscles. Nevertheless, there are some disadvantages behind it. If we run in the wrong ways or position, injuries might occur. Speaking of barefoot running, I'm thinking of normal and natural running when we don't wear our shoes. It might be good since we can move our body freely without any heavy item on our feet. The path we run is not as smooth as we think. There might be something that can harm your soles and put you in a severe injuries. So running without wearing shoes might not always be in the right choice. Ladies and gentlemen, we will get to know more about it later on from our specialists. Good morning, Mr. John, and welcome to my show. Can you please inform our audience about method of this study, what it really is?
Hi Earth and everybody, hello. I'm John from England. Today about the method I will explain you. Let's do. Okay, about the method of study is proceed in random with subject and repeat measure cross-section study. This study provides the participants in Helsinki and King College London Research Ethics Committee by declaration, all approved by email submitted by sampling from the college. The participants or subjects were provided information sheet with this questionnaire detailing about the running behavior and their previous medical condition. Okay, finish the lecture. Let's start experiment. The experiment is used two types of footwear. One is VFF, right band 5 finger, which has designed for barefoot and likely to be the minimalist footwear. The other is SRS or standard running shoe. This is a normally footwear. Okay? For the procedure, subject attend on 2 occasions at least 48 hours. Each session was the same apart from the footwear. At the first session, subjects were randomly assigned to wearing either VFF or SRS for the test. The other session was run at the second session. To start the experiment, we get him a warm-up for 2 minutes and then attach the marker sensor for his leg. Okay, and then after that, get started static running speed on treadmill to allow him for familiarization. Ensure the subject were in running state. Okay, and then running for lightly and softly. Make sure that it has more calculated and more complicated for analysis. On my opinion, according to the study, I think that it should determine about the individual position, natural movement of the feet that occur during landing, while walking or running. Okay, and have the very type of food on individual pronation. It may indicate that different types of pronation can affect the very pressure in the feet. This is one interesting factor to consider.
That sounds interesting. Thank you very much, Mr. John. And I believe that our audience would like to know more about the result of this study. Let's hear from Mr. Tom.
About the result, the subjects were given questionnaire and it tells us about their characteristic. First, their average age is 30.3 and the male and female ratio of the participants group is 17/18. Almost all of them were regular runner and 29 of them heard of VFF and 19 of them thought it's actually beneficial. The next, I will talk about spatiotemporal parameter. There are 3 parameters. The first is stand phase, which has not much changed in all of the variation of the experiment, but the cadence and the stride, which is the step per minute and length of the step respectively, has changed on VFF, while VFF increased both of these 2 parameters, but the instruction has not increased these 2 parameters at all. And the next variable is foot plantar flexion. Foot plantar flexion has a major change on the variation that the participant was given verbal instruction, and it has a similar effect by VFF footwear, but it's only increased in initial contact minus 10% only, while by instruction it increased on both initial contact and initial contact minus 10%. The last parameter is kinetic variable. The kinetic variable has a major change on initial contact minus 10%, and the base variation on this is in instruction. And the last is my opinion. My opinion is verbal instruction is the best way to improve our running, but if you have the money to buy VFF, you can do it also, because sometimes you may don't follow instruction because maybe it's your habit or you forgot to do it.
Wow, the result is very wonderful. And now I want to know about the conclusion. Let's hear from Dr. Victor.
This study hypothesis, both running in minimalist footwear and running in normal running shoes plus instruction, leads to change in lower limb kinematics, is supported by the result of this study. The author said that instruction and minimalist footwear can increase the extent of forefoot striking, while the combination of the two had the greatest effect. Wearing minimalist footwear without instruction induced a forefoot strike running pattern prior to landing. From clinical perspective, some authors have proposed that more forefoot running strike pattern may be associated with reduced lower limb injury. But some authors have observed a high incidence of foot bone marrow edema and metatarsal state fracture in those transitioning rapidly from conventional to minimalist footwear. However, it has been found that a gradual transition may reduce it. Authors have reported that forefoot running is beneficial for those with chronic exertional compartment syndrome and may be associated with a lower incidence of overuse injury. Instruction to run in a light, soft, and quiet way had greatest effect on kinematics than wearing minimalist footwear without instruction, but the effects were varied among the subjects, possibly because less experienced runners tend to slow their pace and speed and when using treadmill with speed 10% greater than individual preferred speed. There were increase in forefoot strike running significantly. The author conclude that change in running style to forefoot strike running pattern previously credited to minimalist footwear could be achieved by simple running instruction. Further research would be to explore clinical utility of minimalist footwear or instruction in reducing injury prevalence in runner. I think that overall, the idea of shoes that mimic primitive walking and running foot of human is exceptionally interesting and outstanding. It tries to let human feet, that's the structure shaped by natural selection for walking a long distance, receive and disperse waste naturally. It can be optional for reducing injury rate in running altogether with running instruction. About this study, I think there should be further investigation in advantage of forefoot strike running pattern when compared to different running style. Running posture of minimalist footwear when compared to barefoot running, or the long-term study of clinical effect injury relating to using minimalist footwear in a long time. Thank you.
Now, I would like to say thank you for coming to my honorable guest. And I hope all of you out there have learned some great things from our specialist today. See you next episode. I'm Mr. Earth and thank you for watching and have a nice day.